Good morning, friend. So I wasn't planning on vlogging today, but I have been in such a slump the past couple of days and I need your help. And if you're going through a slump, you're going to go through this with me and we're going to do this together and we are going to encourage each other and love on one another. So if you're currently in a slump or you're just like not feeling it or you're feeling lazy or you're just, I don't know, you're not feeling motivated or anything like that, comment below. Like, let me encourage you. Let's encourage each other as a community, because that's what I want this channel to be about, is community, not just about me giving you all of this stuff. Like, we're in this together. We are built for community and built for fellowship. So like I said, I have been in a slump the past couple of days and I have noticed that I'm just being lazy, and the Lord despises laziness. The Lord does not like laziness. And because he despises laziness and because he doesn't like laziness, it's because I'm not doing his work. I'm not going out and shining his light. I'm not going out and doing the things that I'm called to do. I'm not taking care of my home. I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not taking care of my relationships. There's so much going on that I'm not doing for his kingdom, for his will. And that's what I've started to view it as. And so to first get us out of a slump, we are just going to pray. We're just going to go to God and just tell him, hey, look, God, this is what's going on in my life. I'm in a slump. I'm feeling lazy. I am feeling very unmotivated. I'm not driven to do anything. All I want to do is lay on the couch. All I want to do is sit and watch TV. All I want to do is sit and scroll on social media, or sit and read a book, or sit and take a nap. Like that, all I want to do is nothing, pretty much. We're gonna get out of this slump. We're not gonna do this anymore. We're not gonna be lazy. We're not gonna let the enemy take over our thoughts and allow us to be lazy and allow us to be in that mode or that mindset that, you know what, it's summer, or you know what, I'm on a break. I don't have to do this. So whether you're on a break right now or not, or whether it's summertime for you or not, whatever the case is, I want you to go through this with me. We're gonna go through this together, because like I said, this channel is, all I want it to be is something that we can do together. I'm not doing this on my own. I'm not doing this because I know all the things and I am, knowledgeable and very wise in certain areas of my life. Me and you, we're in this together, friend. Like, I can't do this alone. I can't get out of this slump by myself. So you're going to do it with me, okay? So if you're in a slump, we're going to do this together. But the first thing, like I said, that we're going to do is we're just going to go pray. We are going to go pray. Last night, I, at like 7:15, was like, you know what? I am going to just go for a drive. I'm going to go get some food. I do not, like, once I'm home, I am not going to leave the house, especially because where we live is like outside of town. And so like if we want to go get food or if I need to go get something, most of the time it's like, well, I'll just starve or scrub up something at the house, like scrounge around and find something at the house, whatever the case is. But I'm not driving to town. But last night I decided, you know what? I need to go to town, and I need to go to town alone because I need to drive and just talk to God. Like, I just need to go and have basically a therapy session with God and just talk out what I'm feeling, what I'm struggling with, what I'm dealing with, what's going on in my mind. And God knows everything. God knows what's going on in my mind. God knows what's going on in my heart and my current situation. But he wants us to bring it to him. He wants us to rely on him, because we have to rely on him. I can't do this on my own. I can't get out of this slump of laziness on my own. I'm not strong enough. I've done it for 2 days now. I know I'm not strong enough. I've told myself over and over and over, you've got to get out of this slump, Landry. You've got to get off the couch. You've got to stop taking naps. You've got to stop reading your book and go do something productive. You've got to just go and do something. And while rest is good, and I've been, practicing Sabbath more, while it's good, it has created laziness in me, and it has created the opposite. And I have allowed the enemy to let me believe that I need this rest, that I need this time not doing anything. And the biggest reason that I've noticed that it's not good for me is because I've gotten away from the Lord. I've gotten away from his word. I haven't been getting in his word like I need to. I'm not nourishing my soul. I am completely depriving myself of so many things that the Lord is trying to give me, but it's because I'm being lazy. It's because I'm telling myself I don't have the mindset to read the Bible. I'm not in that mode. I don't want to read the Bible. I don't want to dig into his word. I'm just not in that zone of wanting to get commentaries out or watch videos or whatever. And then I feel like, well, I don't want to just open up the Bible and read the word because I'm not going to get anything out of it. Like if I'm reading the Bible and not using commentaries or watching a video or getting some kind of addition into it to help me really understand the Bible, then what's the point of reading the Bible? We do not need that mindset. We're getting away from that mindset, guys. We're getting away from it. So right now, we are going to pray. We are going to, if you have to take a drive like I did and just go talk to God in the car alone, go on a walk somewhere if you don't feel comfortable just being in your car, going for a drive, or you can't drive, or whatever the case is, go for a walk or go to a room where you're by yourself and away from everything and just talk. Like you can journal if you want to, but I know for me, sometimes I just need to talk. I just need to get it out. Because sometimes journaling takes a little too long because writing, I can't write fast enough or my hand starts to hurt or whatever. So first thing I want you to do, and I'm going to go do, is we're just going to go pray. We're just going to go pray over our day and say, God, this is what's going on. I'm being lazy right now. I'm in a slump. I don't feel motivated. I don't feel driven. I need your help. I need you to give me the strength to step up and step into your will that you've given me. I need you to help me get motivated. I need you to help me do something. Pray, talk about it. Tell God, this is what's happening. This is what I need your help with, because He will come to you. He will come to your rescue. He is who we run to. He is our rock. He is our fortress. He is our refuge. Go to Him. That's what we're going to do. So go do that right now, and I'll meet you back in a second, and we'll keep going about our day. That light is bright. It might be too bright, but my prayer time that I just had was really good, and I'm so thankful that God is just who He is. I have learned so much recently about His faithfulness. Like, you hear about God's faithfulness all the time, and you know that He is faithful. But there's something about when you really experience His faithfulness and you really understand His faithfulness, and it's a whole new perspective. It's a whole new mindset about God's faithfulness when you really, like I said, experience it or understand it. And it's just one of those things that I have experienced God's faithfulness a lot recently, and just over this year so far, I have just seen and really felt and experienced His faithfulness, because it's one of those things that, I've read about it in the Bible, and I'm currently reading about it in Judges. I mean, it is a constant, we're turning away from you, God. We can do our own thing. We're going to worship these idols. We're going to marry people we're not supposed to marry. We're going to have these relationships that we're not supposed to have. We're going to do all of these things. And then they get trapped in that sinful nature for 8, 10, 18 years, so many years, and then they finally turn and cry out to God and say, God, I'm stuck in this. I can't do this anymore. I need your help and I need a way out. And you know what? God is right there. God is right there, and He gets them out. He turns to them and says, I know, I'm here. I've been here this whole time. I've been waiting for you to turn to me. I've been waiting for you to cry out and say, God, I need you. I am right here. I am your fortress. I am your refuge. I am your rock. I am whatever it is. He is right there. He has not left you. He's right there. And I have seen that in my own life. I have turned away from Him so much. I have gone out on my own. I have decided that I know my own purpose. I have decided that I know my own future, that I know my own things, that I know what's best for me. So many ways of just turning away from God. And then I get trapped and I turn back to Him and I get back in His Word, or I, am reminded of, I can't do this on my own. I need God. And then I get a little bit of Him and I'm like, okay, thanks. And then I run and I turn away and I've done this over and over and over so many times in my life. And I have recently really looked back over my life, and I guess my story and my situation and the things that I've been in, and I have really noticed, God, this whole story has not been about myself. Discovering my purpose has not been about me. It's been about noticing you and noticing that you are so faithful. I don't deserve to go back to Him and Him accept me the way that He does. I don't deserve to get on here and make a YouTube video again because that's what I've wanted to do, and it hasn't worked, and it hasn't worked. And I don't deserve to get back on here and do all these things. I don't deserve to get back into his word and him to forgive me and accept what I'm asking for, or ask for guidance, or ask for help, or whatever the case is. I don't deserve it. If I really look at my life, I don't deserve it. But that's how faithful, and that's how caring, and that's how loving and amazing and powerful God is, that he sent his son to forgive us of those sins, to allow us to live eternally with him if we just believe and we turn to him and we live for him and we shine his light and we disciple others and we do whatever he's called us to do. It has just been so incredible that through all of this, everything that I've learned, so much of what I've learned is God's faithfulness, and I've seen it in my own life, and I've seen it, I've felt it, I have experienced it. It's just been absolutely incredible. And so what I want you to do now, and what I am going to work on, and really this doesn't have to be like a step-by-step process. This doesn't have to be you have to do this right now. This can be something that you do throughout the entire day as we're trying to get out of this slump, is we are going to look back over our lives and reflect over what God has done in our lives and just recognize his faithfulness. Recognize how many times you have turned back to him and said, God, I can't do this anymore. God, I need your help. God, I need your strength. And recognize that throughout all of those times, he never once denied you. He never once said, okay, I'll come to you. I'll help you as soon as you do this. He never once looked at you and shamed you for what you had done. He was there with open arms, ready to take you in, ready to love you, ready to forgive you, ready to help you turn away from that sin and move forward and truly repent from that sin. Not just, okay, God, I can't do this anymore. I need your strength. You get a little bit of it and you run away and go back to the exact same thing, because that's what I was doing for so long. And that's what I'm currently recognizing and really working through, and really understanding that it's not about turning away. It's not about going to God and getting like a little refresher, I guess, and then turning right back to where you went. That's not living for his will and his purpose, and that's not recognizing your own purpose. You have to fully repent and turn away from the sin that you're living in, and turn away from it fully and fully rely on God. And I think the way of fully doing that and really understanding that and really living in that fully is recognizing God's faithfulness. And it may not necessarily be that way for you, but I know for me, so much of being able to come back to him and being able to keep pressing forward and do this whole situation differently and live my life differently is to recognize God's faithfulness and recognize how much he loves me and recognize how much he will forgive me and allow me to keep going and allow me to keep living for his kingdom and shining his light. And that's how I keep going. That's how I continue to grow and understand who he is and what he wants in my life. I didn't mean to go on a whole preach soapbox, whatever you want to call it there, but I do hope that's encouraging. I'm gonna finish doing my hair. I put a little bit of makeup on. That's another little side tip you can do to help you get out of a lazy little slump, is get dressed. Take care of yourself. Do some good skincare. Put a mask on, put some makeup on, whatever it is, and just feel good, feel refreshed, feel ready for the day. That's what I'm gonna do. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna recognize God's faithfulness. I'm gonna note God's faithfulness, and I'm just gonna praise him for it. I'm just gonna thank him for it and be so grateful for who he is, and that he is such a faithful, good, loving, caring, forgiving God, that no matter how many times I've turned from him, no matter how many times I've fallen into laziness or fallen into, overwhelmed feelings or just the temptation of doing something else, he's still right there with open arms, ready to take me back in and help me repent from that sin and fully live out for his kingdom and his purpose in my life. So anyways, I better stop before I keep going. Go recognize God's faithfulness. Go reflect back on your life. finished my hair. I don't know if I really like it. I tried to do like just Dutch braid, kind of like a headband, and then I just did a clip in the back, and so I don't know, I may just let it be because I don't know if I like it on me. I planned out my day, got some things written down. I didn't do it super exact, and there were some things that I wasn't sure about if I wanted to do today, or it was kind of like I don't know, if I get to it maybe. But anyways, I got that done, and now I'm going to tackle all of these dishes because they need to be done. One of my things that I do as part of my routine is I try to get the dishes done before I go to bed, so then that way the next day there's clean dishes in the dishwasher and they will be taken care of and ready to go. But like I said, I've just been lazy and I just haven't gotten it done, and that's okay. We're not gonna shame ourselves for doing that. We're not going to look back over it. We're going to look forward, and we're gonna allow the Lord to give us strength to even do these dishes. Part of getting out of a slump, and part of, stepping away from that process of just not being lazy anymore, part of it is doing the mundane stuff, doing the little stuff. And it sounds ridiculous sometimes to ask the Lord for strength in those little things, like doing the dishes or doing the laundry or making our bed or whatever. But that's how we get it done. That's how we get it through. When we start relying on our own strength and relying on our own will, it's only going to lead us to failure. It's only going to lead us to unsatisfactory. It's not going to lead us to peace. It's not going to lead us to continuing in strength. We're going to get it done, but then we're going to get lazy in something else. And so we have to really rely on the Lord in every area of our life, not just the big things, but the little things. Another part of getting out of this slump is we are going to eat some good food. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about like what you should eat and show you necessarily what I'm going to eat to get me out of a funk, but sometimes I think when we're in a slump, we are, first of all, very tempted to eat nothing but junk food because it's easy and it's the lazy way out, and so that's what we're going to go for. But when we're going for those types of foods, we're not fueling our body properly, and we're not giving our body nutrients to have energy to take on the things that we need to do to be successful, to be productive, to do all of those things. So to get out of my slump, I just got some groceries to help me have some good food around, because that's all I've been doing the past couple of days is eating what we have, which we were on vacation. I was too lazy to go get groceries as soon as we returned, but that was part of the reason why we didn't have groceries too, was because we were on vacation. But I need some good food in my body, so I just got some stuff that sounded refreshing, sounded good, sounded nourishing, sounded like this is gonna be what I need to go to and I'm gonna be okay with going to whenever I'm feeling like I need a snack or something to eat. So yeah, I'm gonna put up these groceries, I'm gonna eat probably a sandwich and some good fruit and a snack, watch YouTube, just chill for a little bit before I need to get back to doing the other things that I need to get done for today. Where's your ball? Where's your ball? What is that? Oh my gosh, it's a rubber duck. You can hear it. I just got done eating lunch, and then I worked on my next episode or podcast episode for my podcast. And I was looking over the podcast. I was very tempted to, first of all, like just delete the episode, because it was an episode that was kind of out of my comfort zone, because I did more of like, not necessarily a Bible study, but I didn't have a script. I didn't really have anything prepared. It was more of, I read this passage in scripture, I felt led to share it, and it was something that I kind of learned myself. And excuse Pegasus, keeps squeezing the rubber duck and it's making a noise. I'm not gonna throw it right now. So anyways, I was just very tempted to erase it and just not even post it and just pretend it never existed and that I never did that. Well, and then the other reason that I thought about deleting it was because it's Wednesday and I really try to post my podcast episodes on Monday, and it's not like that's what I announce and that's what people are expecting. It's just something that I keep in the back of my mind to really try to help me stay on top of things and get things ready, and just have kind of a schedule in my own mind to really make it stick and make it work. And since I didn't post it on Monday, because like I said, the last couple of days I've just been in a slump and I didn't want to do anything, and I never got around to editing the podcast and posting it and all that stuff, I was like, well, you know what, since it was kind of a weird episode anyways, it wasn't very good, I didn't post it on the day that I wanted to, maybe I should just erase it and move on. But what I got to thinking about and what I got to really considering is, or I guess just reflecting on, is this is exactly why things don't work out for us. This is exactly why we are in the slumps that we're in, or we are in a funk, or we are in this position where we just don't feel confident enough or comfortable or encouraged, or we feel good enough about what God's calling us to do, is because we make one little mistake, we make one little mess up, and we think immediately, I'm not cut out for this. Like, this is not working. This is not what I'm supposed to do. This is not what I'm called to do. I think what I'm trying to do is wrong. I'm not listening to God correctly, and I don't think that's the case. I don't think what we're doing is wrong. I think what we can do is learn from that. And that's what I was trying to remind myself, and I started praying over the episode that, you know what, God, this episode does make me feel uncomfortable because I don't think it's very good. I don't think I'm very confident in speaking. I don't think I did a very good job at sharing what I really wanted to share. But at the same time, it's not about me. It's about your will and your kingdom and what you need me to share. And so I need to have faith, and that's a lot of what the episode's about, and I think that's why this is getting me on this topic. But a lot of what we do is just stepping in faith and having faith in God, knowing that He is going to use what you're doing and what He's called you to do what He needs to do for His kingdom and for His will, whatever that may be. That's what He's going to do. I could have easily just deleted the episode, skipped it, ignored it, but then I would have fallen back into the trap of, you know what, maybe this podcast isn't what I'm supposed to do. Maybe making these videos are not what I'm supposed to do, because I made one mistake, and so now I'm a failure, and now I'm shaming myself and all of that stuff. So going along with today of being in a slump, being in a position where we have made a mistake, or we've kind of gotten off track, or we're not doing exactly what we want to do, or whatever the case may be, I just want to encourage you to not just completely give up, to not delete the episode, keep the episode, keep moving forward, use the episode, but use it in a way that maybe it's something for yourself. Maybe it's something that you need to learn from. And that's what I'm trying to view this episode in a way, is I'm going to post this episode, but I'm not going to worry about whether or not anybody watches it. I'm not going to worry about whether or not I get a lot of comments, likes, I'm not going to worry about whether or not someone gives me credit or praises me for doing such a good job on it. I'm going to do it because I'm going to have faith that God's going to use it in whatever way He needs to use it. It may only reach one person, but I'm also going to post it in a way that encourages me to keep going. Say, hey, you know what? You made a mistake. You didn't post it on the day you wanted to, or you didn't do it very well, but that's part of the journey. That's part of learning. We can't give up. We can't have one lazy day and then just think that we're a failure and the rest of our lives or the rest of our purpose is just shot and there's no chance of getting it back. We've got to keep pressing forward. We've got to keep pushing forward. And we've got to use that, honestly, as motivation to say, hey, you know what? The enemy's not going to tell me what to do anymore. I'm not going to allow the enemy to look at me and say, oh, you've been lazy. You messed up. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. You fell behind. So now you're a failure. You might as well just give up. That's what the enemy wants. That's what he wants us to do, because then he knows that if we give up, we're giving up on God and we're giving up on our purpose and we're giving up on exactly what we were called to do. We will fail the kingdom because we are believing in that lie and we're believing in that situation that because we made one little mistake, God can't use us anymore. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He's going to use you. Getting out of this slump, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to push forward as hard as it's going to be, as difficult it may seem, depending on what our situation is. I mean, this could be something that you're coming out of a slump that's been an entire month, or it's just been an entire day. I don't know, whatever the case is, we're not going to let that put us down, and we're not going to let that allow us to give up and quit and just say, well, you know what, because I made this one little mistake, I might as well just give up and be done with it. God is not done with you yet. I hope you hear that. Out of all the things that I have said, God is not done with you yet. You don't need to give up. You don't need to stop. You need to keep pressing forward and ignore the enemy, and you will come out stronger than ever before. So I pray that that's what you do. And we're going to get out of the slump by going and just walking outside, getting in the sun, moving our bodies some way. That's what I'm about to do right now. And then go back and see if the episode has been downloaded and ready to go so I can start uploading it to YouTube, all the things to get it onto Spotify, anything I need to do, and then we should be about done for the day. I can just go read and kind of enjoy the rest of my day, or I go to the movies with my mom and just relax the rest of the day and be proud of what I've done, of coming out of this slump. So let's go.
Everything I need is found in you, all in you. Everything I need is found in you, Jesus.